So quick update on the little WK Blue bike. I ordered a second-hand head. I found one in the world kind of in place, as in working, it has all its pieces in this country, and I ordered it maybe 2 weeks ago on the weekend. On the Monday it said, this was eBay, it said on the tracking that there's a new thing now with tracking, isn't there? And it says normally something like, we've been requested to collect your part, rather than we've got your part. So we've been requested to pick your, or no, this time it said your part has been handed to the parcel shop. It will be collected soon. 4 days later, Thursday, I messaged him and said it hasn't changed. I said, look, it might turn up, but it hasn't changed on there, and that worries me a bit. He called the same parcel shop, and he messaged me back and said, look, I'm really sorry, it's actually still on their shelf. They forgot to put it on. But he was also a little bit arsey in a way. He was saying things like, this isn't my fault, you know, nothing to do with me. I got rid of the part. I sent it, blah, blah, blah. I think he was worried about his feedback. And then I was like, well, you know, it's also not really my fault. I just want my part. So he then says that he went back to the parcel shop, paid for a 24-hour next day delivery. It should have been here on the Friday. He did update the tracking. It did then say it should be here on the Friday. Friday come and went. I waited until the Monday, as in the Monday evening, so basically Tuesday, and I messaged him and said, look, it's still not here. I said, you know, if you did 24 hours on Thursday, it said it was due Friday, but Friday's come and gone, it's not here. He then messaged them again and said, oh, look, I'm chasing it up, blah, blah, blah. So a couple of days after that, I messaged him and I said, look, I'm going to have to cancel this. I'm going to have to get a refund. It's obviously missing, isn't it? My hope was that it would kick him up the arse. So this was only a few days ago now. My hope was that he would go, look, I have found it. This is bad. I'll chuck it in Royal Mail or something. And he didn't. He just sent the refund. So the only head in the world for that bike at this stage went missing in the post. I paid for it and bought it, and it went missing in the post. I am keeping an eye out on his eBay page in case it goes back up. You never know with these people. And he has some bad feedback, and he's quite arsey when he responds to the feedback. He normally blames them, or says that it's something like eBay's gone silly, the customers are always right, blah, blah, blah. So that's the deal with that. And what's really annoying is that once that head was bolted on and it was timed up, that would have just started and ran and rode like a really decent low mileage bike. It is, you know. So frustratingly there, I'm keeping an eye out. It is technically a YBR 125 head. One of you told me that, possibly yourself, Roland. I might have got that wrong. I think you did, Roland. I think you said to me, look, Charlie, that's a YBR engine. Top end. I am looking for a YBR as well. I don't think it will actually fit on perfectly, I've got to be honest. I think we need this version, which is the 154 FMI. But yeah, that's that. I've got some fine sandpapers. I need some slightly rougher ones because I do want to see if I can actually get these back down to a metal and see if they got to any kind of stage where they might polish up a touch. That is highly unlikely with my skill, lack of knowledge, lack of effort, and lack of anything. But in the past I did sand a set down, and what was underneath was crazy. I nearly got a mirror finish with no machine work or anything. So I'm going to have a little play with that. So looking at before and after, we've got a painted surface here, and then we've got down to a metal surface here. If I spent a lot of time by hand, I could get this polished and shiny. Probably wouldn't be mirror, but it could definitely be polished and shiny. But yeah, it's not really the look I'm going for anyway. There's not much polished shiny on this bike. Black is the route I'm going down. So what it is keyed up now. I'm going to spray it with some brake cleaner, because that's great as a pre-paint. And and then I'm going to be coating. I'm actually going to do all this first, otherwise we'll get dust transferring left and right. I'm going to clean that one up first, get them to the same level, then brake cleaner them, wait for that to disappear, and we'll start layering on coats of black. I think that's the best. I think this will look best like that. I'm going to be doing the same with a high temp silver to the side panels, just to neaten the whole thing up. So tack coat on the forks. When you're doing a tack coat, you spray from a distance, you let it just drop on, you give it 10 minutes to dry. You do that probably 3 times. So you just let it drop on from a distance 3 times. It builds up a layer, and then you can start spraying thick. The smaller tack coats help the sprays adhere to it, and it's actually a really important step to take, especially if, like me, you're not great with primers or you don't use them sometimes. Tack coats are your saviour in that occasion. So this currently is coat 4. It looks like it's on thick and black, but actually there'll be patches there. It's coat 4 for me at the moment isn't even a full coverage coat. The next 2 or 3 coats will be full coverage thick, and they'll be what we call wet coats. Oh, excuse me. Even though they're not actually, we're not glossing these, so it doesn't matter too much. A wet coat with gloss would be a thickish coat that doesn't run, but goes on thick enough to show a nice gloss finish. But it's quite hard to get the in-between non-running but thick enough to be glossy part there. So yeah, I like satins and mattes for the reason that you don't need to worry too much, although I'm not too bad at spraying glosses, if I'm being honest as well. A couple more. I'm kind of leaving 10 minutes. It's quite warm today, so between 5 and 10 minutes for it to dry, and then you spray on another coat. Eventually it will eventually I'll be really gently putting the wheel back on. I would probably leave the caliper off overnight, or in fact it will probably be all week because I'm busy tomorrow. Yeah, for obvious reasons that it will swing and it will scratch. So yeah, a few more coats, wheel back on just because it's the easiest way to have it and store it, and then you've got to be quite careful about what rubs up against it. So check this out, guys. While we're waiting for the paint to dry, that's probably second thick coat. I'll probably do 2 more. We've got number plate bracket here. Now I bought this one to test it. If I'm being really honest, I wasn't sure. The thing that I liked about it is that I can choose the angle. It's on a pivot system. So I was aware that I had this section here, so I was wondering, kind of, look, I could angle it in a way that suits me. The ideal here would be that I can somehow do it like this and put a light here. Depending on how the seat sits, I'd want it kind of something like that, number plate sticking out, quite a steep angle, not stupidly steep, but quite a steep angle, and it looking like that. And let me show you the number plate, because actually it's pretty cool. Because this is a historic bike, I'm actually allowed to get a pressed black and silver plate like John's Bonnie over there. So that's going to be the number plate. So at some point it will be something like, kind of like that really, or a bit higher depending on the seat. Something kind of like that I have in my head. Yeah. So that's pretty cool. That is the number plate for the bike, by the way, guys. I don't mind showing you. There's not much you can do with it, but that is the number plate for the bike. Yeah, pretty cool. So we've got plenty layers on there now. I'm gonna let that dry. I've actually just had a delivery. I believe these are the side panels. Now you'd be amazed how hard it is to find the side panels. Just 2 side panels that have come off the same bike in the same condition, which will be a similar condition to this actually. It's difficult, guys, really hard. So let's see what we've got. Oh, it's wrapped well. One moment, guys. I'm going to unwrap with 2 hands and come back to you.